Okay, I think they can hear us. Hello out there. Are you
Can
there?
you hear us?
Can you hear us? Oh wait, they can't see us. What are we gonna do about that? What are we
Well,
going
that's
to
a
do?
shame. We'll just run the podcast like this. It's fine.
Yeah, this is how the podcast is gonna go, everyone. Hold on, wait. I'm moving some wires around. Let's see here. Let me drop the mic. Hold on. Whoosh. Okay, we're dropping that mic. All right. Let us know, is the music too quiet or loud compared to me in Eternity before I do the big unveiling? Making sure. It's a podcast, so audio. Yeah, but I'm a visual.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm a visual girl.
I know you are.
You know what? All right, hold on. That's it. Let me shove our butts up here. Hold on. Come on. I'm dragging your butt out from under the table. Come on. Get up
quickly.
here.
They're saying we're. I don't want to. Oh.
Come on. You're up here. Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Hello.
Let me lower the music. The music got a little loud. There we go. Welcome everyone to Info Dumpster. Woo! Info Dumpster is the podcast where we info dump upon you. And tonight we are going to be discussing a console both me and Eternity have grown up with since we were tiny little toddlers. And for this podcast, just so everyone knows, all alerts, redeems, all that stuff is off tonight. So you guys can't do anything crazy. While you can't burn down the studio, okay? We are professionals here. We can't have a mob of chatters coming on in and just deciding, oh, I'm gonna burn this down now. Whee!
Yeah, guys, that's my job.
Hey, wait, no, don't you dare! Don't you dare! No, you're not allowed to burn down anything right now. But I just got the wallpaper on. Don't do it. Eternity, please. Those cold, soulless eyes. Don't do it. I'm begging you.
They can't tell that I'm smiling. No, I totally won't. It's fine. I'm gonna. Don't tell her. No. I'm going to do that.
No.
This is only a one episode thing.
No. We have commissions. But yes, hello everyone. Hi to all of our wonderful friends and fans watching right now. As we said before, this is Info Dumpster. We are dumping directly onto you all the information and hyperfixation we have in our heads. And since we are talking about a console that we grew up with, can we get a drum roll, please? Everyone, da 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 da. Okay, we're good. Preparing the PlayStation 2. Woo!
Oh my gosh, the PlayStation 2. That brings up so many memories. You guys know I'm old as dirt, so
we're both old. You shut up.
I'm older than you, so be quiet.
Anyways, PlayStation categories. Yes, everyone, we are discussing the PlayStation 2 specifically. Originally, the first episode, I wanted to talk about Space Channel 5 because that's my hyperfixation, but then I thought about it. I'm like, I played that game on the PlayStation 2, and Eternity had a PlayStation 2. So why don't we just talk about all things PlayStation 2? Because while PlayStation currently is shooting themselves in the foot with the PS5, we're going to talk about the height at which they were perfect and great and cool, and that's the PS2. I'm sorry, all you youngins, all you whippersnappers out there. PS2 is GOAT. That's all I'm saying.
all the kids nowadays, like I'm offering my condolences because you guys are dealing with like Horizon Zero Dawn and what was the other game?
I mean, Astrobot looked good, but
Last of Us, like you're just getting the same remakes like every 2 years. But Yuki and I, when we had the PlayStation 2, oh my god, there were so many intellectual properties that were just chef kiss, fantastic.
So hi everyone. Yes. So to start with me, so this in front of me here presenting. From what I know, there are apparently 5 versions, technically, if you don't count colors and all that, there are 5 versions of the PlayStation 2 model out there. The original one that released in Japan, then the American one, those 2 are considered the fat models. They're chunky boys. They're hefty. They got a little bit of oomph to them. You can see there they got the big old fan down there. They got the ports. Hey, guess what? Remember when you had to save on a memory card? I hated that so much.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and then we have the slim models, which is what I grew up with because I didn't get a PlayStation 2 until I was a little bit older. My grubby mitts couldn't hold a full console just yet. But yeah,
I, however, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go for it. Go. Just do it.
I was gonna say, I, however, did own an original PlayStation 2, the fat one.
That chunky boy. I need someone to just
I had a chunky
draw.
boy.
I want someone to draw just like a potato sack with the PS2 logo on it, and it's like black. And it's like the fat PS2 model.
It was very. I can confirm it was a very chunky console.
It was
just.
It was, but it was
so
really
bad.
slick. It was really slick.
Yes, very true.
I know I have talked about it on my own streams, but I would go over to my cousin's house constantly because you know, I had 3 male cousins, all of which between the ages of like 6 to 12 or whatever. So it's like you have 3 boys who are gonna fight over 1 console. So they always had 2 consoles at all times. When the Wii launched, they also got a PlayStation 3, I think. And when when the PS2 released, they got the fat model, which I played at his house all the time. And they also had a GameCube. That's how I was able to play like GameCube games too on the side. But for me, the PlayStation 2 is my full-on childhood. Like, yes, technically, I want to get technical, everyone. The first game and console I played on was technically an N64, and it technically was Mario 64, and also Conker's Bad Fur Day. We don't talk about that one. My cousins didn't know any better. But the one I actually owned and got as a present was the PlayStation 2. I love it so much. I still have my PlayStation 2, which is what I've been streaming some of my games on for you guys. It's still there. It's 20 years old now. I got this thing in 2004. I didn't get it at launch. I got the slim model. And for me, the selling point for a PlayStation 2 for me was Sly Cooper. I remember distinctly the Sly Cooper commercials because they'd be like, we don't have someone at the controls, and then Sly just taps on the glass of the TV screen, and I freaked out. I'm like, how are they doing that? They know I'm here? Oh. Me and my dumb monkey brain was like, oh god, I didn't know. I did not know that they were cartoon characters. I was just having fun. But that commercial was initially the one that like sold me on getting it, and I begged to get it. And there are so many friggin' good games on the PlayStation 2. You want to talk about a few games you like, Eternity?
Sure. So long ago, when dinosaurs roamed the earth, the early 2000s, I was a little wee baby.
A wee babu.
A wee babu.
Okay,
Christmas 2002. My sibling and I, we got a PlayStation 2, and our first game was Kingdom Hearts 1. I remember seeing it on TV. I remember seeing commercials. I saw the Disney characters. I was just absolutely enthralled, and I begged my parents, can we get a PlayStation 2? I really want this game. And it was like, and I remember we were sitting there, we would play together, we would take turns, and I remember on my save file, I had gotten to Maleficent.
Oh boy.
When she turns into when she gets to a dragon, like phase 2. I could not beat her. I took an entire year off from the game, came back to it a year later. I beat her on the first try.
Okay.
So, that's not too bad. But like, I played a lot of like.
Yeah.
I played a lot of like RPG games. I played a lot of like casual games. I remember There was this one game,
E?
and I feel like I'm crazy.
Okay.
Let me find it.
Oh god, we're going deep now. Oh no, we're searching. Don't pay attention to the tippy taps.
My Street. Did anyone ever play My Street?
My Street. Hold on. I need to actually see that.
We played that all the time. It basically, it's like a bunch of like little mini games. Like you run around like you're the new kid in the neighborhood and you play a bunch of mini games.
This looks so silly.
Yeah, I had My Street growing up.
I mean, for me, it's like obscure. That's the thing with the PlayStation 2. So this thing had a lifespan from 2000, technically 1999, if you count Japan's initial release. So like from 2000 through 2012, everyone, it literally had life support until 2012, 10 years, as well into the PlayStation 3's lifespan. The PS3 was out in 2006 or 7, I believe, and that thing was still going up until like what, 2013 or 14 when the PlayStation 4 came out. So like just before the PS4, the PS2 was still kicking. It was like, I ain't dead yet.
Because it was such a good console. It was so good.
It is the console of it is the console of variety. If I am being dead serious, don't get me wrong. I will always still be a Nintendo girly. I had a Wii. I grew up with a lot of Nintendo games, but when it comes to like PlayStation 2 specifically, like it felt a lot more diverse when it was released.
I was very much the PlayStation kid.
Yeah.
When I was growing up.
We all love our platformer mascots. Oh, Jack. Oh, Ratchet. Oh, Sly. Oh, how I love you three so much. And I have a problem because 2 of them are furries and I feel called out here.
I played the more obscure games. I don't know if anybody's going to know what I'm talking about, but there was a duo set of games. Dark Cloud 1, Dark Cloud 2. I don't know if anybody knows what I'm talking about. It's a very obscure game. Not a lot of people know about it. It has its own history, which maybe that could be an episode one day.
Oh, I see chat freaking out. I do. It's 2 is my favorite game. I still like the disc.
2 is so good. Okay, we have to make Dark Cloud an episode.
There was that game. There was oh my god. There was one Shadow something. I remember the box art.
Shadow King?
I think so. Hold on. I'm gonna double check. I've got to fact check myself.
I might know what you're talking about. There was also like Ico, Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah, Okage Shadow King. That's what it was.
Shadow King.
I remember.
I actually had that game. I actually had that one.
I did not. So there were a lot of games that I was really interested in, but here's the thing. When you're a kid, especially in the 2000s, you get games for either your birthday or Christmas. Sometimes, if you're really special, maybe the Tooth Fairy will give you a game, or maybe the Great Pumpkin is being generous, and instead of candy, he gives you a game. I had that happen at least once or twice. Yeah. Oh, the freaking iToy. Oh, I wish I owned the iToy.
Did you never had an iToy?
No, I did have Guitar Hero for the PlayStation 2, though.
Oh my god, the iToy was like a game changer for me. It was so crazy, like to just like stand there in the living room and like turn it on, put the iToy game in, and like see yourself on the screen. It was so surreal. When did the iToy come out?
I think it was
2003, 2002.
It definitely was during like the mid part of it. I like to say like the beginning part was 2001 or 2000 to 2002 or 3, and then 3 to like 6 was like the quote unquote end of the console, but it really wasn't.
It was not.
Yeah, that console had games still being shoved on it, which is insane for me. Mind you, most of it was sports titles. But the fact that they still shoved anything on a console that was 10 years old at that point.
Yes.
Let's see here. We got.
I'm gonna look something up really quick while you yap.
I'm gonna yap.
Keep yapping.
So for those about who want to know how many game titles roughly were released for the PlayStation 2, there are well over 4,000 game titles. That does include things like quote-unquote shovelware, licensed games, sports games, that sort of thing. And roughly, if you combine all the copies of whatever was sold, around almost 2 billion copies of games were sold. Just every game under the sun. Also,
Speaking...
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. I was just gonna say, the PlayStation 2 was so popular. As of this year, it has sold over 158 million units. There were 158 million PlayStation 2s sold.
I think the only console that's catching up to that in its popularity and sales is the Switch. Like,
yes,
literally, that's the only one.
Look, actually.
Yeah, double check.
I will look.
We gotta fact check ourselves. we're just talking out our butts right now, but we gotta double check the facts. Them game facts.
Yeah, so the Switch has so far has sold 143.4 million.
Damn. So yeah, it's getting close to it, but not there yet.
Not yet. PlayStation 2.
Yeah, go on.
So, I was not aware that you could actually play PlayStation 2 games in HD. I was not aware of that.
Oh, really?
No, I had no idea. I didn't even know that you could actually connect to it online. Now, granted, I had my PlayStation 2 22 years ago.
Yeah.
So, being a little kid, I had no clue about that.
Yeah, the online capabilities of older consoles like the PS2 and like the Xbox, it was still very new at the time.
Mm-hmm. It's so, I had no clue about that. I was never aware of that. I thought it was like one of those older consoles where like you just played stuff locally, like, you would have friends come over, stick their controllers into the console, and you all just play together like that.
Yeah, that's how I grew up playing it. They all technically had internet support. You had to get an actual cable from your modem for your internet and plug it in. Well, technically it'd be from your wall for your phone, actually. Is the old dial-up internet, them AOLs.
Them AOLs. Obviously it had to have been a hassle, but like it was possible.
Mm-hmm.
Which is insane.
I think the only game that me and my cousin played a lot that technically had online support for the PS2 was Jack X Combat Racing. And I think he had it hooked up very briefly to the internet, and we were able to like play against people. It was insane.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah, we never had games that like you could play online. I don't think we had a lot of like single player games because I played it more than my sibling. I played it more. They weren't as interested in video games until like we got older.
See, I have a younger sibling, so me in like 4th and 5th grade, my younger sibling being like a toddler with greasy fingers and everything, constantly always wanted to play. So I don't know how many people in chat did this thing, but if you're the older sibling in the early 2000s and you don't want your sibling to play your game, but they're gonna beg and cry and be like, I want to play, and your parents are like, you gotta share, even though it's the console they bought for you specifically. What I would do is I would plug in a second controller, even if it was a single player game. I'd plug in a second controller because it wouldn't register, because single player game only goes through the first port. So when I plugged in the second one, I handed the controller and I made my sibling pretend that they were playing the game, and it satisfied them for about a couple of months until they realized they weren't actually playing, and then they threw a temper tantrum.
Are you okay?
Huh?
Are you okay?
What do you mean?
You're sorry. I'm stuck on the earlier spiel before you talked about your solution.
My solution was to trick them, and it failed after a month or two.
I mean, like, my parents, what they did for us is we both got our own memory cards, which, by the way, the PlayStation 2 memory cards are not that big. They only held 8 megabytes. Now, granted, PlayStation 2 games were, like, save files were very, very small compared to, like, games nowadays. Like, like, for example, I just bought Black Myth Wukong. It's, like, over 120 gigabytes.
Yeah. Yeah, newer games are way more chunkier than the older ones. I will say, the only games that I felt like took up a lot of space on my memory cards were any RPG, because you would have multiple saves on that. I know when, for those who don't know, my partner and boyfriend, Soko, he gifted me Persona 4, and I started playing it, and I realized every time I made an additional save, it made an additional save in the memory card slot. So I had like 5 or 6 things. It was like, you can't fit anymore. I'm like, I thought I could just keep saving underneath each one. I didn't realize it was taking up actual space in there. I also, for those who don't know, for the PlayStation 2, for the longest time, there actually was a shortage for memory cards. I remember when I got my PS2.
Really?
When I got my PS2, I did not know you needed a memory card, and we went everywhere looking for memory cards because I'm like, I need to save my game. Literally, when I was a kid, I got this console for the first time. I was playing Sly 2, as you do, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to lose my spot. It was that game, and it was the original Jak and Daxter. Those were like my 2 starter games, I guess you could say. So what I did, dumb smart brain me, decided I'm just gonna leave the console on all night, spinning the disc.
Oh my
and I
goodness.
fried.
No, you did not.
I fried it. It literally like almost exploded. It just would not read anything. So because it was a gift from like my grandparents, we took it back, brought the box. We went back to like Walmart, and I went, it blew it up, and luckily we had like an insurance thing on it, so we swapped it for a new one. And I was scolded saying, do not leave it on ever. And so I constantly had to keep playing the same levels over and over and over again until, you know, I had to shut it off, because you only get like an hour or 2 of playing video games back in the day, or else you couldn't. You had to do your homework before you did that. So like, it ended up being awful. I don't think I got a memory card until the PlayStation 3 launched. So 2005 or 6, I got a memory card. And then I got super lucky at some Goodwill I went to. There was like, someone had a yellow memory card for like $2. And I'm like, I have that in chump change. Let me just $2 for a memory card. And then I got a 16, I think it was megabyte card, which was unheard of at the time.
Oh my god, yeah.
So I got those finally, and we finally were able to save like games on them, because god, it was getting obnoxious having to replay the same thing over and over again.
Well, and then you get to the point with like the 8 megabyte memory cards where it's like you start running out of space, but then like you have a game that you want to save, and it's like, okay, I gotta figure out like what am I willing to keep? What am I willing to get rid of?
Who goes to the Shadow Realm?
Yeah. Speaking of memory cards and like deleting stuff, I thought what was so cool about the memory cards is that like when you would go into your games and go into your memory card, there would be like these little icons.
Oh yeah, I miss
But,
that
like,
about old consoles.
Sometimes there'd be like little characters like bouncing around or dancing, and like when you were getting ready to delete them, they would like react.
Oh yeah, some of them actually had reactions like, why are you gonna do this to me? Why are you killing me? I have feelings.
Also, on the startup screen there, you know how there's like little towers? Apparently, what I was not aware of this, but apparently that was like your games and like how big they were, or like your save files. And like if you had a bunch of save files, there'd be like a bunch of towers, and some of them would be big, some of them would be small.
Yeah, I never realized that
so
as a kid.
Cool.
Yeah, I never
Me
realized
neither.
the towers were your actual memory in the console, like what you're saving. That is honestly cool.
the PlayStation 2 was so freaking creative. Like, it's so unreal.
Yee.
It is amazing.
You hold on. Let me get us down to the little PlayStation 2. Hold on. Let me get close to it. You hear that?
Okay,
You're
let's go.
special. Let me grab
You're
you
very
too.
special.
Hold on, wait. Let me grab you too.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I can grab you.
All right.
Here we go. Ready? We're gonna compliment the PlayStation 2 now. Look at this baby. Look at this baby man. Little baby.
You're special. You're the best console ever.
Yeah,
you are. You're such a good console. Yes.
Okay. Enough with the bit. Let me get my butt back up here.
So I do wanna bring up probably my favorite fact about the PlayStation 2.
Go on.
So when the PlayStation 2 came out, there was a political scare.
Oh.
Where there was a belief that Saddam Hussein was collecting PlayStation 2s to make a weapon.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So then what happened was they embargoed the
PlayStation
there was an
2.
export embargo put on Japan for the PlayStation 2 because we were so scared that they were being brought up to be made into weapons.
I think it was because it had a decent computing capability and a lot of newer tech at the time in it, and people thought it could. I think the myth was if you tied like 500 of them together, you can build a supercomputer. Was the myth? I think like that was the grand myth,
which is insane.
I don't think that was possible physically. I don't want to see people trying to put together 500 PS2s and making like a supercomputer out of it. I don't know. This thing was powerful, but I don't think it was that powerful, guys. You're overselling it now. Even we're saying you're overselling it.
It's literally a game console. It's not that deep.
It's not that deep. I mean,
another thing that was. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just to say another really cool thing about the PlayStation 2. I was not aware of this because again, I was a little kid who liked playing video games. You could put DVDs in the PlayStation 2, and you could watch movies with your PlayStation 2.
That right there is the big factor in why I think a lot of people got a PlayStation 2 at the time. Because the PlayStation 1 was able to play music discs, which was unheard of.
Yes.
But the PlayStation 2, with its ability to actually play DVDs, it made it essentially... It made it cheaper. It made it cheaper than most DVD players at the time, because you got to understand, this was like what, $250, something like that.
Yeah,
$200-$300.
Compared to today's prices for game consoles, it was way cheaper back in the early 2000s.
Let me see here. I'm actually gonna double check. Yeah, it was $299 at launch.
$299. Yeah, but like that's the cool thing about like Sony back in the day. They were making such groundbreaking achievements with their consoles, with their technology. Like you said, the PlayStation 1 could play music, and then the PlayStation 2 could play movies.
Yeah, they were experimental to say the least, because Sony owns them. Sony is a entertainment business first and foremost. They got into the video game market trying to sell a product that was for entertainment, and they really thought about it. They're like, well, how can we entertain people more? Oh, we sell it for $100 more than what normal DVD players go. I think most DVD players at the time went anywhere from $200 to $300 anyways. And DVDs were still sort of new. It was around like the mid-2000s. DVDs started to really rise up more. And then it was Blu-rays and all that. So like having this multimedia player where if you want to throw on a movie, you can. If you want to play a video game, you can. That made it a step above, because for the GameCube, no offense to all my GameCube lovers out there, I know you love it, I do too, but its tiny little CD ain't gonna do it. That CD was smaller than a Video Now CD, and I have owned Video Nows. I had one as a kid. The crunchy quality, ugh.
Tell me, was the PlayStation 2 also able to play music, or was it just like movies and video games?
Oh, you could play music too. I remember distinctly.
See?
All right,
That's what I'm saying. Groundbreaking.
you wanna date me? Let's see here. Little Babu Yuki, when I used to live at my older house, I had a Disney Channel Now CD with the Cheetah Girls on it and Hilary Duff and all those Disney Channel stars. And I put it into my PS2. The cool thing is, I remember when you put a music disc into the PS2, you click on it and then you can actually select the track. The track is like has a little block thing and it'll tell you track 1, 2, 3. So you could just pick a track to constantly play, or you can have it play it all at once. I love that.
Crazy.
I would blast it on my TV. I'd be like, yeah, Lizzie McGuire.
I mean, I shouldn't be making fun of you. I was also a Lizzie McGuire fan when I was a kid.
Oh, all us Disney Channel girlies out there.
Lizzie McGuire, Ashley Tisdale, Brenda Song.
Brenda Song's still acting, like 30 years later.
Yes, and I honestly love that for her.
Yeah. But yeah, go on.
Yuki, how much do you love the PlayStation 2?
Turns around to my console on my stand over here. I mean, I'm thinking about kissing it right now, but I don't know about that for sure.
do you love it?
I would say yes.
You probably don't love it as much as this man, because there was a rumor many years ago that there was a man by the name of Dan Holmes. He loved it. This is allegedly he loved his PlayStation 2 so much he legally changed his name to Mr. PlayStation 2.
What? The Mr. PlayStation 2? Hold on.
The Mr. PlayStation 2. Look,
Mr. PlayStation.
It's a rumor, so I cannot confirm it, but that was a rumor that had gone around in the past, that there was a guy that loved his PlayStation 2 so much that he changed his last name to Mr. PlayStation 2. I don't know if anyone else has heard this rumor or not, but when I heard it, I was like, that's so crazy.
Oh my god, I actually found the source of it.
Did you really?
Oh my god, this is a dated website. So it's apparently from the BBC, so it's a UK man. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to marry a PS2?
He loved his PlayStation 2.
Let's see. Hold on. I have to read this article. It's a very short thing, and it's published February 27, 2002.
I'm looking at it.
Let's see. Here it is. It says...
You want to read it?
Yeah.
Go for it.
A gamer is so obsessed with PlayStation 2 that he's named himself after one. Dan Holmes has legally changed his name to Mr. PlayStation 2. Mr. PlayStation 2 plays his computer for more than 4 hours a day. Oh yeah, because they used to call them computer games. And even takes it on holiday because he can't bear to be without it. He wanted to marry a PS2. And so far, he spent a whopping £7,000 on games. That's Great British pounds for all you people out there. I think roughly, like in American dollars, it's a little bit more, so probably like $9,000 USD.
So where are our British people in chat? Someone do some. Where Rhino, are you in chat? What's our conversion rate, sir?
I mean, Rhino also said if you're going by the launch price from 2000 for £299, it would be 547.18 pounds for today.
Hold on, I'm gonna check what that is. So 540. That's over $700
for today.
That is
so it's literally the price of a PS5.
$715.11. Oh my god!
It says, oh wait, the article continues. Mr. PS2, age 29 at the time, from Banbury in Oxfordshire, told the Mirror that everyone teases him about how much he loves his PlayStation, so it seemed natural to change his name to be like one. Mr. PS2 said, I joked about marrying a PlayStation and asked a few Vickers if they would do the service. They didn't seem keen.
It's, oh my gosh. I wonder what he's doing now. It's been 22 years. He's got to be, I think he's like 50 or 51. I wonder what he's doing now.
Maybe he changed his name to Mr. PS5. He's like Mr. Hold on, wait. I'm going to show you this website too. Like, look how dated that site is.
I'm looking at it on my phone. This is very
ancient.
This is very 2002.
We're doing it. Oh, okay. Oh God.
Oh my goodness gracious. This is insane.
Yeah. The PlayStation 2 was insane and people were insane for it. I remember...
It was a good console. It was a very good console.
I remember back in the day, though, how people would... Like, console releases were, like, the thing. Like, people would line up at midnight for launch of those things. It was...
Yes!
You know that scene from, like, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory when everyone's, like, buying out all the chocolate bars? It's like that.
Yes, and they're waiting outside.
They're like breathing on the thing, like, I want my PS2.
It's, oh my god, it's so crazy. Like, I mean, people did that for all kinds of things. Movies, books, games consoles.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, you know, there is hardly any physical media left nowadays, which that's a whole other can of worms to discuss.
Yeah.
But, like, there would be
this.
lines and lines outside these stores, like, waiting for these things.
Yep. Because it was
crazy.
The hot, cool thing. Like, no one saw anything like this.
Fantastic. Yeah.
I will say my favorite little fun fact about this console here is the actual little, like, old school PlayStation logo, if you see it on, like, where the disc tray was. Even for the...
Yeah.
So, you know how most modern consoles, you have to hold it up vertically and stuff to help with the airflow? The PlayStation 2 had an option where you could, you know, lay it vertical or horizontal because it was essentially a DVD player. If you stood it up vertically in the stand, you can actually swap that little logo to fit the way it's supposed to, so it still showed it
you
properly.
Can twist it.
Yeah, it was cute. It's a cute little thing I love.
I remember the first time I did that, I thought I actually broke it.
You found the secret code.
Because it turned so easy. I was like, oh no, I break it. I broke the PlayStation. No, I didn't. I was not aware that you could just turn the thing. Like, it was just meant to turn. That was really cool.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, you talked about a few of your favorite things. You talked about Kingdom Hearts. Now me here, I never played Kingdom Hearts. I know, shocker, me, the Disney fan I am, never really played it. I only played...
You can now, it's on Steam!
Yeah, I know, but I hear...
Finally!
I hear the mixed things on the, on the Steam version though, and it's a little janky.
It's the Nintendo Cloud version that's the problem.
Oh, that one's really jank.
Yeah, that one was the bad one. We don't talk about that one.
But I don't know. You said you saw commercials. Do you remember on Disney Channel, like, that weird commercial they had where it was like a guy breaking in to show the latest, like, cool thing from what was Disney Interactive? That was their game development company for a while.
Yes, I remember Disney Interactive. I remember them.
They had a commercial where it was a guy breaking in to show you, like, the latest thing. It was like all high tech and stuff, and then he showed off Kingdom Hearts, and I had never seen anything like this. I genuinely did want the game, but I never got it. I only played Dream Drop Distance later in life and 358 Days Over 2. I am a pathetic...
you gotta play 1 and 2.
I know. Eventually.
Gameplay wise, if we're comparing 1 and 2, 2 is superior in gameplay. They very much improved it. I'm very biased because 1 was my start. 1 just has that charm. Just has that fun Disney charm. Because because when I started playing, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And I remember when I started the game, I was like, "Where's Donald and Goofy? I thought Donald and Goofy were gonna be here." And I had to get through Traverse Town to get them in my party, and I had no clue about that. And I remember being stuck on Destiny Island when the Heartless attack, because like I didn't know where to go. I didn't know that I had to go up top across the bridge, so I was just getting chased by Heartless everywhere, and I kept dying. And I would just like put Sora in the ocean so that they wouldn't follow me.
Oh my god. Also, I had to fact check the DVD player thing. So, DVD players in the early 2000s were anywhere from $700 to $1,200 USD. So, paying $299 for a PS2 was the absolute cheapest way to get a DVD player.
Well, and they kept up with that going into like the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 4. Because I know you can play DVDs and now Blu-rays on your consoles as well. I don't know if they've changed it to where it's just Blu-rays or if it's just digital media. Again, another can of worms. Because I know the PlayStation 3 did Blu-rays. I cannot remember when Blu-rays came out.
Blu-rays came out technically around 2006 when the PS3 launched. Like, it was mid-2000s, but it did not gain popularity until 2010s, I feel. Like middle 2010s.
Well, and the thing about the Blu-ray is it's more or less an upgraded version of the DVD.
Yeah, that's all it really is. Is a clearer quality and stuff.
Clear quality HD. It's fun times all around, basically.
Yeah. Let's see here. Oh wait. You know what? Speaking of commercials we saw with the PS2, do you know about the David Lynch commercial?
No, I don't.
So, David Lynch, like the famous director, didn't he do like a bunch of horror movies or something?
Probably. When I was growing up, my parents were very, very strict about what I could and couldn't play. I had to beg on my hands and knees for Dark Cloud 2 because there were like 3 curse words.
Here it is. I'm gonna send this to you.
But, I would not know about David Lynch when I was at that age.
So apparently I want to hold on. I can't spell. I cannot spell to save my life. I'm double searching. Yeah, American filmmaker. Made shows and movies such as Twin Peaks, Eraserhead, the 1980s Dune. So this guy is like big in sci-fi and horror, and they're like, "Oh yeah, let's contact him and make him do a PlayStation 2 commercial." And it's like this weird abstract thing. It's so weird to watch it because it's like the most abstract weird thing ever, but it definitely gets your attention.
That's insane.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm double checking all the fun facts. I mean, for me,
oh god,
for me personally, you have Dark Cloud, which I heard about Dark Cloud growing up. I never got to play it. It looked interesting. Same thing with Hokage. I did not have
I gotta get you to play it.
I know.
I gotta get you to play it.
I am very.
It's on PlayStation 4.
My thing is I'm picky. I am very picky about JRPGs and RPGs. The only one that I swear by that I actually had Mario's voice actor sign, like the manual for, was Magic Pencil Quest for Color, the dumb Pokemon-like game where you draw your monsters that Studio Ghibli worked on, of all things. Like,
that is awesome.
Like, that is one of the most obscure games. That and its sequel, Graffiti Kingdom. Like, those games were revolutionary for the time. The fact that you can make parts of a monster and they function like an arm and a leg and a tail, that felt unheard of, and that was like 2002 or 3. Like, holy cow.
I remember you telling me about the game. I had never heard of it until like you told me it, like this year or last year, I think.
Yeah, because last year I did stream it, and God, I love that game. That game makes me cry every time I play it. If you wanted to play a game before Ni no Kuni that gives you Ghibli vibes, please do yourselves a favor, look it up, see if you can find a way to play it. Because I know we're not saying to be pirates, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, but hey, you got to preserve media any way you can. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Listen, we're not saying to be a pirate, but you know, yar har fiddly dee.
Being a pirate is all right with me.
But remember, we don't endorse piracy.
No, never.
But yar har, yo ho, yo ho, yar har.
Let's see here. See for me, me and the PlayStation 2, it was mostly the platform mascots for me. Those are what got me. And then Space Channel 5, a lot of Sega titles that ended up being ported from the Dreamcast over to the PS2, I grew up with on that console. That's why I absolutely love and adore Space Channel 5 so damn much. It's such a quirky game.
We're gonna have to talk about it at some point, and by we I mean you, because I know nothing about Space Channel 5.
All you need to
I've only heard of it in passing.
All you need to know is pink-haired lady kicks butt by reporting on the news and dancing to it.
I love that, actually. That's really cool.
Oh yeah, Guitar Hero. I mentioned it before. I am so mad that I either think I got rid of my Guitar Hero guitar, or it's somewhere in the basement, because I do want to hook up my PlayStation 2 to play Guitar Hero again at some point for everyone.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Guitar Hero was such a huge craze, especially with the PlayStation and like Wii consoles. Because I remember when I got a PS2, and it was, I think 2006 is when I got the first Guitar Hero. After school every day, I'm like, okay, 20 minutes homework, and then I can play Guitar Hero. And I bulleted through the campaign of Guitar Hero. I was like, what
was the Guitar Hero game where like your band accidentally signs a deal with the devil?
That's the third one.
Okay, that's the one that I played. Basically, like Tenacious D.
Yeah, they had that. They also had oh my gosh. The Trogdor song.
Yes.
Yeah,
and then they had Through the Ice and Fire.
Was it Brutal Legend? No, that's a PS3 game.
Oh, I've heard of Brutal Legend.
Yeah.
I've heard of that one.
I could just run over here to my collection of PS2 games. Let's see. Oh yes, Pappy Rappy 2. Oh, I love you, Parappa. You are my childhood.
I unfortunately do not have our old PlayStation 2 games anymore because my sibling has them, because now they like to do game collecting. So, but they did tell me that they were going to pass on, because I asked them if they still had our copies of Dark Cloud 1 and 2, and I asked for them, and they're like, yeah, next time I'm in town, I'll pass them to you. I was like, yes!
There is a way...
Because I don't have a PlayStation 2 anymore, but I will gladly take them and hold on to them and preserve them, because I love those games so much.
I believe if you have a disk drive in your computer, or you get one, not saying you should, chat, but some emulators can actually run through a disk drive old console games if you know how to do it.
I would love that. Oh my God, look at what Stone just brought. Madagascar!
Oh my God, I had the Madagascar! No wait, Soko will scream at me because I played the Shrek 2 game as well. A lot of the DreamWorks games I had on PS2. That's the other thing with tie-in games. Oh my God.
Oh my God, I remember playing Madagascar 2 Madagascar for the PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
I played it so many times. It was crazy.
I think I got stuck. I got stuck at the level where you were in the trees and the wind was blowing and it was blowing all the lemurs away. That's the level I got stuck on, so I never beat the Madagascar game.
You never beat it?
No.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well now we know now I know what we have to do at some point. We gotta get you the Madagascar game and get you to play it.
I still have it. I have I don't have the case for it. I don't know how many people had like the CD cases back in the day when you were like, oh, I have no more room for all these little cases. Let me just chuck the case. I regret chucking so many cases of my video games now.
Yeah.
Because now it's like, they're not really worth a lot unless you have the case. It's so weird.
Yeah.
But I think I had Shrek 2, Madagascar. I had Shark Tale. Stephanie is in chat. I know Steph knows about the Shark Tale game because that game is horrendous.
God. Wait, did you have Finding Nemo?
I did actually. I had Finding Nemo as well.
Oh my gosh, Finding Nemo. I never beat Finding Nemo. I always got stuck on the minefield at the shark's place.
Same.
I always got stuck.
I got stuck there and I was like, no, I'm done. I had that.
Yeah, I was like, I give up. Wait.
Yeah.
Kung Fu Panda.
I actually did not have Kung Fu Panda for the PS2.
I had that. I played it. I beat it on my first night. I remember I told my mom, I beat Kung Fu Panda. She's like, did you just... She was like, so I paid money and you beat the game in like 2 hours. I was like, there's more stuff to do.
There's more stuff after that. But like, if you want to blitz speedrunner over here, 2 hours for... Hold on. I need to look this up. Speedrun. I gotta look this up.
Yeah, so Kung Fu Panda had a story version. There was also like, you know, like they had like more or less like a Mortal Kombat like rip off, or like you could play as certain characters and beat each other up. Shark Tales was BS in the DDR parts. Thank you, Soko.
Oh my god, so you might actually be tied. It says here 3 years ago, for the PS2 disc version on speedrun.com, someone beat it in 2 hours, 1 minute, 13 seconds from France. So you could fight a French person, and who can beat Kung Fu Panda for the PS2?
I could fight a French person for Kung Fu Panda on the PlayStation 2!
Shark Tales was BS with their dance stance. Yeah.
I was like 10 years old, so like...
Listen here,
I was just playing.
We had tiny hands. We were more skilled with when we had tiny hands. I will say though,
absolutely.
I will say though, as a kid, I gave up on Jak 2 for a hot minute. Jak 2 is balls to the wall, annoyingly, obnoxiously hard. And I replayed it like last year, and even I still had a tough time with it. Like, I love the Jak series. Jak is my man. I love him. He's cool. Daxter's cool. 2 is great story-wise. Gameplay-wise, it is GTA, basically. And because of that, because I'm a dumb kid and I was told no, play the violent video games, but somehow I still got my hands on Jak 2 and 3. Don't ask that. But like, it's... I remember I got it... So I got a PlayStation 2, 2004. That was when a lot of sequel games came out. So Jak 2 released.
Yeah.
I got that. I got the first Jak. So I played the first Jak, then the second. For some reason, I got Sly 2 first, but I think that's because I saw the commercial for it first. And then I got Sly 1 later on in life. Like, it was, I got 2, then I got 3 for Sly, and then I got 1. So I literally went backwards to play it. But for Jak specifically, I gave up at a certain point, put the thing down, and when I got Jak 3, I beat Jak 3, and I went, okay, if I could beat 3, let me go back to 2, and then I beat it immediately after I beat 3. It took me, like, I think 2 years, technically, so, like, 2006 was when I finally beat Jak 2. Curse my tiny hands.
What was another? Oh, there was another really, really cool thing about the PlayStation 2, and this might have been groundbreaking. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
It was really cool for me. Backwards compatibility.
Yep.
The PlayStation 2 could play your PlayStation 1 games. I believe you needed to have like a special memory card for it, because I remember when I played our PlayStation 1 games, we could not save them. So we just played them, and then we would just start our games over. Because I remember I had Crash Bandicoot 1 for the PlayStation 1. Never beat it. You would have to play for hours and hours, and also it was PlayStation 1, Crash Bandicoot 1, did not have the cursors. You had to use the arrows. That was a nightmare. But yeah, backwards compatibility. You could play the past console games on your PlayStation 2. So backwards compatibility, you could play video games on it, you could listen to music on it, you could watch movies on it. The PlayStation 2 was just like a perfect console.
Yep. And for $300, that honestly, I wish.
$300.
As of right now, the only console that's within a bargain price like that is the Switch nowadays, honestly. That could be why the Switch is coming up to the same amount of sales as a PS2.
Well, the PlayStation 5 is still like $500, which is ridiculous. I'm not spending $500 on a game console.
Yeah. Listen here, we love you, PS2. We don't like your older cousins. They suck, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Or your younger cousins, I should say.
Yeah, Sony, I like you because I like the PlayStation 2, and I like the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 3, but oh my gosh, do I have so many problems with you now. I have a lot of hang-ups. Cough, cough, Bloodborne, cough, cough.
Oh, God. Oh, wait,
I could do a whole episode for that.
Oh, no, I know a fun fact. Okay, wait. Okay, do you remember some PlayStation games having, like, the blue back or the normal DVD back?
Yes.
So fun fact, the blue back means it was actually a CD-ROM game and not a DVD-ROM game. And the thing is with the blue back one, so the original Crash 4 that came out on all consoles, including PS2, the one that's kind of sucks and isn't good.
Are you talking about Twinsanity?
No, not Twinsanity. It's one before. Is it Wrath of Cortex or something like that? I don't
Excuse you, Wrath of Cortex was good, but
okay, listen here.
Listen.
It was Wrath of Cortex. Hold on. Yeah, it was.
I actually had Wrath of Cortex, but listen, if you say anything bad about Crash Twinsanity, you and I are going to throw hands.
I'm not going to throw hands. I have Twinsanity on my shelf back here, you.
Okay, good. I used to have Twinsanity. I don't know what happened to our copy. I think my sibling has it.
But the thing is, so you had Wrath of Cortex right now. I played this at my cousin's house. Fun fact about CD-ROM games. They take more rotations to read because it's a Laserdisc reader. And because it's a CD, not a DVD, it had insanely long load times. I remember playing that game and Crash was like on the loading screen. He's just like floating there like, wee, the purplish background. And it took nearly 5 minutes to load one damn level.
Yes, it took a very, very long time with that game.
And that was with all CD-ROM games. It took until I would say 2002 or 3 for a lot more games to release DVD format instead of the CD format. Because, God, no one can handle those load times.
No. It was, listen, owning a PlayStation 2 and having those CD-ROM games, that was the true test of patience. Truly. Oh my gosh.
Oh man. Oh yeah, I had Bakugan, but I only had it for the Wii, but I remember that. And we talked about the Madagascar game. I love pointing out that Madagascar was made by Toys for Bob, you know, the same guys who ended up making the Spyro Reignited trilogy.
And Crash 4, It's About Time.
Yep.
That is crazy. I think they actually just went independent recently.
They did. They went to be their own independent studio. Good for them. They don't need to be shackled.
Round of applause.
They were being shackled by Sony or an Activision making Call of Duty games. Ugh.
Everyone, round of applause for Toys for Bob, please. We are very proud of them.
Golf claps for Toys for Bob. Ooh! You want to know a stupid fun fact? So you know how I will bring this up as a point of reference. You know how the Wii had all their accessories for like, if you're gonna play Legend of Zelda, here's a Master Sword to shove on your Wii remote. Remember that?
Yep.
So actually, the PS2 was first to do that stupid kind of stuff.
PlayStation 2 accessories.
Yep. I remember specifically the fishing rod. I think the coolest thing, though, and I will send this to you here. The coolest thing was for a game called Onimusha, and I don't know if anyone has heard of that game.
What is that?
They released the katana for the PlayStation 2. Hold on. Katana. I need to double check this. It's for Onimusha, which I never heard about Onimusha for the longest time, but it is an actual controller. They had one for the third game as well. I need to show you this image, and you guys can look it up too. You can see it. It has actual buttons, like it's a goddamn PS2 controller. Look
that is insane. I'm looking at this right now. Oh my god, it looks like a Wiimote.
Yeah, it's so cool and so
Resident
stupid.
Evil chainsaw controller. Oh, I forgot about that.
But Resident Evil ended up being GameCube exclusive. A lot of the Resi games ended up being Nintendo exclusive for a hot minute.
That's insane.
Yeah, Resi was Nintendo exclusive for that era, and Sony had their grip on Silent Hill. Now, I never played Silent Hill, but I remember the demos. I had a couple of demo discs, which, oh my god, do you remember demo discs? You remember like the PlayStation magazine?
Oh my god!
Yeah, I used to get the PlayStation magazine, or like once in a while I would purchase it so I can get the demo disc inside. I had 2 or 3 demo discs. One of the demo discs I had was actually a game that that one of my friends, Dandy, brought up on Twitter a few days ago. And it was essentially, you're a kaiju fighting in a big city. Like, it's a Smash Bros. Styled free-for-all battle fight thing. I love playing that demo. Most of the demos were around like 30 minutes or so to like an hour, depending. Loved it so much.
That is, holy crap. That is so crazy.
Let's see here.
I forgot that I had this pulled up. I have the howstuffworks.com. Like, I have pulled up like the specs for the PlayStation 2.
Oh god, we got them specs. Hold on, let's get our glasses on.
All right. So the processor was a 128-bit Emotion engine. Processor clock speed was 300 megahertz. Floating point unit (FPU) co-processor operating at 6.2 gigaflops. Bus speed 3.2 gigabytes a second, and it had an original CPU. The graphics, it was a graphics synthesizer. It was 150 megahertz with an embedded cache, 4 megabytes of VRAM. The resolution was 640 by 480, or interlaced, it was 320 by 240, which is, very dated nowadays. Colors were 24-bit and 16-bit. The geometry engine is alpha channel, anti-aliasing, Bezier surfacing, Gaura shading, MIP mapping, perspective correction, and a Z buffer. Polygon rendering, 75 million polygons a second. The audio was an SPU2 plus CPU, 48 channels. The sample rate was 44.1, I think this is kilohertz. I don't know for sure. The audio memory was 2 megabytes. Memory, it had 32 megabytes. The operating system was proprietary Sony. And it had the support for music, movies, games. It had, I think this is going off of the original PlayStation 2, so the fat chunky boy. 2 memory card slots, 2 USB ports for controllers, and a FireWire port. There's a lot. There's a lot in here.
There's a lot of them funky specs in there. Let's see here. Oh, Devil May Cry, yeah. PS2 birthed off like so many amazing series. God of War, like if you want to talk about the more mature side, like it wasn't 100% super realistic, but this console tried to push a lot. I love like the PS1, PS2 era graphics because it is so diverse and varied. A AAA game can look like a goofy cartoon thing like Parappa, or it could be freaking God of War with Kratos ripping off a god's arm or something, and Devil May Cry with them shooting up demons and whatnot. Like, like the PS2 was able to handle a lot of crazy things. I remember finding out for the first Jak and Daxter, they actually built from the ground up the engine it was running on. I think it was called GOL, Game Oriented something Lisp. I don't remember the A word. But essentially, it took 2 or 3 game engines, mashed them together. So say there's like, I don't know if you played the game. Have you played the first Jak or no?
No, I did not. My parents were very, very strict about what games we could get and what we could play.
Which is fair. I got lucky that I was able to get Space Channel 5 because it was rated T, and my mom didn't know, and I saw it at a Kohl's, and I'm like, oh, it's bright and colorful. I can have it, right? It's 20
yeah,
bucks.
we couldn't even have teen rated games.
But essentially, okay, say you have, pretend I have an egg in my hand, and you see this egg. Now imagine standing 30 feet away, you will still see that egg, and if you go 100 feet away, you'll still see the egg. That's the thing with, specifically the engine for Jak and Daxter, is they were able to break down the polygons to like at smallest 3 polygons. So whatever you did in the game, it would constantly render and have a near seamless world. Like there was basically very little load times, or if there were, you wouldn't really notice it.
Here's my question to you about that. And the answer is probably no, because the technology might not have been as advanced. Was it a situation where like everything, like the whole world was already loaded in, or no?
So yes, parts of the whole world was loaded in for the most part. There were sections that aren't technically loaded. Give me a second, hold on. I'm coughing my brain.
I remember being scared I couldn't play Lego Star Wars 2 because it was rated E10 plus. I was only 9. Stephanie, you feel my plight. You understand. Oh my gosh.
Sorry guys. I'm talking a lot. I'm yapping a lot, and
You're yapping.
I'm still getting over being sick.
You're yapping. It's okay. You can yap. We're yappers tonight.
Yapping. We've been yapping
I'll probably be yapping away when it's my turn. So
well, yeah,
you know how it goes.
Go on and yap. Go on, points. Do it. Yap. Yap, damn it.
PlayStation 2 was really cool. I could go on for hours and hours about my favorite PlayStation 2 games because I'm an avid Dark Cloud enjoyer, and I highly encourage everybody, if you have an opportunity, to play it. I know it's available on the PlayStation 4, like online, which I know it sucks because, you know, they can take it away whenever they want, but I still have my digital copies of 1 and 2. So if you ever get the opportunity, please go play them. They are very, very good. I will warn you, they are hard, especially 1. 1 is incredibly hard.
It is the first one.
They are both very difficult, very difficult games. But they are so worth it.
RPGs.
They are very good RPGs. Well, the thing that made 1 so difficult for me was, 1, I wasn't leveling up every single character. I keep hitting my desk. I wasn't leveling every single character up like I should have been. So when I got to the final boss, I was just screwed. But the weapon system in 1, if your weapon breaks, it's gone. Like, it does not matter how high level that weapon is. It is gone if you do not repair it. Because it has weapon points. Like, it's kind of like health points. So like every time you swing and hit something, you know, your WP will go down. And if it hits 0, it's gone forever.
Oh boy. Oof.
And also, like, the leveling up your weapons was very, very time consuming and kind of hard to do. In 1, they streamlined it in 2. It was way more simple. It was easier to level up, and your weapons didn't freaking go away if they broke.
Yeah.
I have a lot of very positive feelings to Dark Cloud 1 and 2. If you couldn't tell. I could dedicate an entire episode of Info Dumpster to Dark Cloud.
We probably will at some point.
Yes.
All right, I have some more dumb fun facts about the PS2, and I think we will probably open up the floor for questions soon from the chat.
Yes. So chat, start thinking about questions you want to ask us when we open the floor.
You can ask about the topic. You could also ask us like a question or two if you want to talk about something. If you want us to talk about something specific at some point, we're open to some suggestions. We do have some ideas for future podcast things. So we're hoping to do this like once, maybe twice a month kind of thing.
That would be really cool.
Yeah. So here are some very dumb fun facts that don't really need to be mentioned, but they're here anyway. So,
I love the way you said that.
Yeah, because these are really stupid. I had to read them out loud. Let's see. So, chat, did you know it would take 1,858,194,779,628 PS2s to cover the entire surface of Jupiter?
What the f- Say the number again. How many?
11,858,194,779,628 PS2s.
I need to know who found out this calculation. I want to know who did this.
Someone from Liverpool in the UK in the year 2002.
I need to know who has that much time on their hands to come up with this mathematical equation.
Oh no, it gets better.
To figure out how there's more.
Hold on, I need some water. Hold on.
More. Oh my gosh.
Hold on, I have some more dumb facts. Also, thank
you got a raid.
Thank you for the raid.
It's Professor Lambio.
Yeah, can we shout them out? We're doing a live podcast, so we're talking about the PS2 today for those who are just joining us. I'm reading off some very dumb fun facts. Let's see here. Here's another one.
Let's go.
If you could modify a PS2 and attach a wheel to the CD drive, it could reach at max 84 miles per hour. It spins about 6,000 revs per minute. The same as a 1.8 liter Ford Monado at its peak power.
I feel like I shouldn't know this.
Let's see.
There's some strange, like, unholy aura about this information that you're giving me that I feel like I should not know.
We always gotta do crazy fun facts. Also, hold on, let me do this real quick.
I still can't get over the fact that somebody had the time and energy to, like, really think this through and, like, come up with these calculations. It's I can't. It's baffling. It's mind-boggling.
Let's see here. Hold on. I got a few more. It gets worse.
Go for it. It's worse.
By the way, this is going by British pounds. The PS2 is not worth its weight in gold. It clocks in at about 2.7 Great British pounds per ounce compared to 200 per ounce for gold. A solid gold PS2 would cost a whopping 14,800 British Great pounds. I can't read. And it would also smell probably bad.
Okay, so that would come out to $18,320 US.
If it was solid gold, an actual PS2.
Yes.
These things are
and that's just with today's money.
I find it weird. Yeah, because apparently the person who did the calculations is from the UK. That's why. A lot of these are like that. So let's see here.
What British person had the time to do this?
Someone in 2002 in Liverpool did, apparently.
I'm gonna find that. I'm gonna find whoever this is.
Now,
They may
mind
be
you,
like,
this is going by
they may be in their
2002.
they may be in their 50s. They're probably in their 50s or their 60s, and they're probably not in Liverpool anymore. I don't know who they are. I'm gonna find them. I'm gonna knock on their door. I'm gonna be standing right there. It's gonna be raining. I'm gonna be sopping wet. I'm gonna be so sad. I'm gonna look at them with my big golden clock eyes. I'm gonna be like, why'd you do this?
So here's a crazy one. So at the time, so this is 2002, 33 million PS2s were produced and counting. It means that there was enough for every second person in the UK to own one. Not first, so like every other person can own a PS2.
Oh my god.
However, at the time, only 2.5 million PS2s were in the UK. But that's still enough to lay a line of PS2s from London to Geneva, I think is the name of the town. That's roughly 446 miles.
See, this is information I feel like no human being should know. I'm speechless. I have no words. There are no words. The words are struggling to escape my lips. I'm having a hard time comprehending the PlayStation 2 calculations.
Man, whoever had the time to do these calculations is like super smart. A lot of these are like really crazy. So one more before we open up the floor for questions.
One more.
So apparently the PS2 squeezes in 10.5 million transistors into 4.72 liters of space. That is essentially the engine capacity of a 1976 Jaguar XJ6 car.
What?
Like a Jaguar freaking speedy as hell car.
Oh my god.
That's been Yuki's dumb fun facts. I'm sure the next time we do a podcast and we look up a topic, I'm going to find some really weird random facts that no one will ever know. This is the only podcast you're going to find this out.
You'll find like some weird, like obscure iceberg.
You got to find
that, like,
those
nobody
obscure
knows
things.
about.
Yeah, exactly. You got to find out everything.
This is crazy.
All right. So we have been going for about an hour and a half-ish. So, chat. Hello. I see you in the background on our little television screen.
Hi, chat.
We are going to open up the floor to all of you. Let me just hold on. I must let my PlayStation 2 go. Its planet needs them. All right, you ready?
Goodbye, PlayStation 2.
Goodbye. Oh, I miss it already.
I miss it too. Do you want to come over to my house and play PlayStation 2?
Hell yeah! I'll kick your butt.
All right.
We'll play some what is it? Soul Calibur. We'll play Soul Calibur.
Do you want to come over and play? Do you want to come over and play on the PlayStation 2 that I don't own?
Yeah, exactly. I'll just bring mine over. Don't worry, it's fine.
Exactly. There you go. Oh my gosh! It is time to open the floor to questions, isn't it?
So yes, everyone in chat, if you have a question either about us with the PS2 or in general about the podcast, feel free to ask now. We'll be taking at least like 3 or 5-ish questions, depending on what you guys want to talk about. We will answer them as best as we can. Mind you, we are not trained professionals. We're VTubers on the internet who just like to hyperfixate on certain subjects. All right. Okay, actually, Darkness Stone. Hi, Darkness Stone. Darkness Stone Official has a question for us. If you could receive a pristine version of a PS2 game, one to keep and play and one to destroy, what would the games be? Wait, one to destroy and one to keep? Oh god, I don't know about destroying.
Gosh,
I don't know what would I destroy? Because like if it were me to keep a game like pristine that I can always play forever, I'm gonna go with the one I had as a kid and kept forever now, and that is Sly 2. That game I will replay for endless hours and never get bored of it. But
I think you know my answer.
Yours would be Dark Cloud, wouldn't it?
Dark Cloud 2 specifically, yes.
But like, for one that you would destroy, I have to like really think. Cause like, I mean, sports games.
I don't know. Maybe some NFL game.
Oh wait, no wait, I forgot about the really. Do you know about Snow White and the Seven Clever Boys?
No, what is that?
If you guys don't know, a YouTuber by the name of Cat Icarus, he covered apparently these really terrible, like MS Paint animated movies with like very basic kids game puzzles and stuff. It's shovelware shoved onto the PS2, and it is the most cursed, god-awful, ugly thing. I would destroy that thing in a heartbeat. Any of the games made by that company are so bad. Yeah, Phoenix Games, look up their titles. They're horrendous. Absolute horrendous.
Oh, gosh. From the games that you were... this question is from Rhino SCE.
Yeah.
From the games that you are aware of, what PlayStation 2 game would you like to play through that you haven't played yet? Drakengard 1.
Ooh, the first one on the PS2.
It was on the PlayStation 2. I believe the official PS2 emulator is currently working on getting it ready. Drakengard 3 is on the emulator. I think Drakengard 1 is almost done, but if I could have experienced Drakengard 1, because you know me, I am a huge Drakengard and Nier fanatic. Like, I live and breathe Nier and Drakengard. I would have loved. I mean, obviously, I could never have played it as a kid for obvious reasons. It's very messed up. Especially one. One is very messed up. But for me, Drakengard 1, hands down.
I think for me, I'm going to be honest, while I know of Shadow of the Colossus and Ico, I never played them. I genuinely would love to play the original PS2 versions. I know about them. I know the stories of them. I think they are genuinely fascinating games and really groundbreaking for the times they were released. Because I love the last game they worked on, which was The Last Guardian. So playing that made me really want to go back to their original, like, first two games in sort of that style that they had. And I wanted to try and see. At some point, I want to get my grubby hands on it and try it. Those are on, like, my list of things I want to try.
I can confirm, because I actually had Ico when I was younger for the PlayStation 2. Very good game. Really, it was a very, very fun experience. Very good. I personally never played Shadow of the Colossus. I would love to. But, oh wait, no, I think we actually had Shadow of the Colossus too. I didn't know how to play it. I had no idea what I was doing. I could never beat the first guy. I did not know what I was doing.
See here. Any other questions from anyone in chat? That's 2 questions. We probably have enough for at least 2 more. You guys are free to ask anything.
We will gladly take any questions you guys have for us. And like Yuki said, it could be about the PlayStation 2, it could be about PS2 games, it could be about the podcast. It can be whatever you want.
Within reason, of course. We're not gonna we're not gonna shake our hips live on stream for you all.
I can't. I'm a PNG anyway.
Hold on, wait. Grabs this. Shake it. Don't question our abilities to shake.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But yeah, we have time for more questions.
Give us all your juicy, delicious questions.
You know what? I have a question for you. Was there ever a PlayStation 2 game that you had that you did not like, that was just like a disappointment?
Spyro Enter the Dragonfly. I still own it. It's still on my shelf. You didn't like Enter the Dragonfly? That was my first technical Spyro game. I played the first one, and then I got that one. I was so bored, and it was so aimless compared to the original PS1 game.
How dare you? I like Spyro Enter the Dragonfly.
You could. Do you know you can glitch that game out and beat it in 10 minutes?
No.
You can't. That's how bad the source code is. That's why it's so abysmal.
Ooh. Obsessor asked us, did you have any of the peripherals besides the guitar? I had the iToy.
I wish I had the iToy. I had. So, hi, once again, hi, I'm a Disney Channel girly. I had High School Musical for the PS2, and it came with a USB microphone that you plugged into the USB port below the actual console. So you could do karaoke to High School Musical songs.
Pause.
Yeah.
Pause.
Yeah.
There was a High School Musical PlayStation 2 game?
There were several! It was the height of High School Musical.
I loved High School Musical. I can't believe nobody told me about this. What?
So the thing is with that microphone, I wish I had the voice the game headset because excuse me. Because for the PS2 version of Sly, if you had the PlayStation 2 headset and you put it on, there was a microphone option where you could shout in the game and it would get the guard's attention. I tested it out. I tried testing it out with the USB mic. It didn't work with the USB mic and I was disappointed. Oh,
that's a shame.
Let's see here. Ooh, we got another question. This time from Stephanie Sparta. Are there any PS2 games that are obscure that weren't talked about that either of you two would recommend? Ooh.
I mean, I already talked about the Dark Cloud games. We kind of mentioned Ico.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna look up some obscure PlayStation 2 games really quick.
Yeah, because I already
See if I remember any.
Yeah, because I already mentioned mine of Graffiti Kingdom and Magic Pendule. Technically, it's not as obscure as when it originally released, but I do have Okami for the PS2. I think I have every copy of Okami minus like the Steam and Switch version. I do want the Switch version. I want to own every copy of Okami. If you have not played Okami, whether it's for the original PS2, the Wii, or the PS3 and 4 versions, please, or the Steam version, do yourselves a favor. Yeah, if you want a really fun Zelda-like game for the original like PlayStation 2, Okami is your best friend. Also, the Katamari series started on the PS2. Always recommend Katamari to people.
All right, I got one.
Go on.
So did you know? So you know that I love From Software.
Yes.
Did you know that From Software made a survival horror game for the PlayStation 2?
Is it
Kuon?
Kuon, yeah, I remember it started with a K. Yeah.
I watched because obviously I don't have access to a PlayStation 2 and I don't have access to the game, so I watched a walkthrough of it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it is so creepy.
Oh, I believe it. I remember watching a few videos on it too.
What else? Would it be controversial to bring up Rule of Rose? Because like that game got banned in England.
I remember
it is an old PlayStation 2 game where you're playing as this girl who goes into like a blimp with like other girls from an orphanage, and like you're like I think it's like you're going through your past and trying to remember who you are and what happened to you. But apparently it was so controversial in the UK that they banned it.
Which is crazy to me, honestly.
Oh! Haunting Ground as well. I love Haunting Ground for the PlayStation 2. It's another survival horror game. I'm bringing up a lot of survival horror games, so you can so I'm sure you can imagine they were not looked well upon in various countries.
No, wait. If you want to talk about obscure for me, yes, did you know Taiko no Tatsujin originally got ported to America in 2004? It was called Taiko Drum Master, and it had the Jimmy Neutron theme song and the Dragon Ball Z theme song in America.
No way!
Yeah.
Alright,
I wish I had owned it. I want to own the original PS2 version because that also has the drum. That's another peripheral. It was an actual like taiko drum thing that you would bang on, which they do have for the Switch and the PS4 versions, but it's not the same. I want the original PS2 plastic. I want to smell the 2000s up my nostrils.
I'm looking up like old obscure PlayStation 2 games. I'm trying to find like pictures of these games. There's literally a game called Obscure.
It's so obscure, it's called Absurd.
Apparently there was a second. I think there was Obscure too.
How obscure that it had a sequel.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, Dark Cloud 1 had a sequel, so you know.
Yeah.
I keep seeing this. What is it? It's called Time Splitters. I have no clue what Time Splitters is.
That's based on a TV show, I think.
Okay, there's something called Shadow Hearts. I have no idea what Shadow Hearts is. Oh, here we go. Look, rare PS2 games. Let me find them.
The rarest.
Rare PS2 games. 13. Okay, this is from Game Rant, so you know, take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But this is their 13 rare game. They put Bully as a rare PlayStation 2. Okay, I can't take them seriously. As soon as I saw Bully, I was like, come on. Bully. Alright, the rarest and most expensive PlayStation 2 games. Let's see, okay. MS Saga A New Dawn. I have no idea what that is. Apparently it sells around for $170. I think Time Splitters was developed by some of the same people who did GoldenEye and The Perfect Dark. Oh, okay. Where is one that? Dot Hack Quarantine. I don't know if anybody knows about the Dot Hack series. I remember reading one of the mangas forever ago. Apparently it sells for $350
Oof.
for a sealed version of Dot Hack Quarantine. There's Silent Hill Shattered Memories. There's Haunting Ground. I want you to take a guess how much a sealed copy of Haunting Ground will go for.
Let me guess, like $800.
No.
Oh, more.
It's lower than that.
Okay, what?
$560.
Yeah, that's about accurate, I feel.
Okay. Now I want you to guess how much Rule of Rose would go.
Maybe it'd be a little higher, so 700-ish?
Higher.
1,000?
1,060.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, so what happened was when it sold in English-speaking countries like in North America, it was a very, very limited release, so it's very, very hard to find Rule of Rose.
Oh wait, I just realized if we're talking about obscure games, because there actually are games that weren't released in America that were only released in like the UK or Japan only.
Yeah.
Hold on, just with my eye. Ooh. There we go. I mentioned this and I bring it up as a perfect like Halloween October game, Gregory Horror Show. If you ever wanted to essentially play, it is a Capcom game. It is a horror game for kids. It's super fun. That's
crazy. I saw that on like a bunch of lists of like rare and obscure games.
It is very obscure. There is a 3D animated anime that's short. Like the first season, you can watch in an hour. I highly recommend to anyone to get their hands on it if they can, or at least watch the series for a very quirky horror. Like, it's both spooky, creepy, but it has like that. It's essentially what all the Animal Crossing creepypastas think they are. That's the best way I can put it. Because it's a management game. It's a time management game where you have to figure out how to steal like guest souls by watching what they do, knowing where they are at certain times of the day. It's Parappa the Homicidal Maniac. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh wait, I have one more. I have one more obscure game that I don't have the disc for anymore, and it makes me mad. It is called Kaya the Dark Lineage.
Kaya the Dark Lineage. Let me look that up.
I believe it was an Atari game, if I'm not mistaken. And it was like their shot at like a Zelda-esque adventure platformer
Oh,
game. It looks super cool. I like the protagonist design a lot. I like the story.
That looks really cool.
I like the story. I'm pissed off that it ended on a cliffhanger and we never got any conclusion to it. That always pissed me off as a kid.
Oh, you can actually buy it on Amazon for just under $40.
It's obscure, but not too many people talk about it.
Right. Oh my goodness gracious, good golly. I'm still hung up over those scary calculations you told me.
I could have read more, but I had to step away from that site.
I can't stop thinking about them. I can't stop thinking about them. Those are gonna haunt me for like at least a week.
Oh wait,
you know how it goes.
Wait, do you remember Tak and the Power Juju?
Yes, I do actually.
Yeah.
It was a PlayStation 2 game.
Yeah, I loved it.
Didn't they make it a TV show on Nickelodeon for a while?
Yeah, years after I think like the third game came out, they decided to finally make a show, and the show is abysmal. Don't watch it.
It's like Jimmy Neutron, except like Jimmy Neutron was good. Like, it started as a movie, and it was just gonna be a movie, but then they're like, whoa, people really like this, we're gonna make a show out of it. And then we got Carl Weezer.
Oh, no. No! No! He's back! Run! Hide! Hide, you kids! No, we are not.
I like the PlayStation 2 as well.
I thought this was gonna be a very professional... Don't you bring that up! No, chat, cut it out.
Jerry, oh my gosh, he's Jerry's wow. Listen, I'm always professional. Believe it or not, I hold myself to a very high standard of professionalism.
We are so.
But Carl Weezer doesn't.
So professional here. Anyways, do we have any other questions before we end off the stream?
Last call for questions.
If you have anything, you could also ask a question about the podcast and anything. Because like I said, this is info dumpster. We are dumping an entire dumpster onto you of whatever information we can grab and basically blabbing and yapping about what we like. We picked the PS2 because we're both nerdy kids from the 2000s who grew up with it. Are food questions allowed? Murdoch.
No, Murdoch. Food questions are not allowed.
We're gonna ban you for mentioning food because you commit food crimes.
The food criminal has followed me into the studio.
Crimes.
I can't escape the food criminal.
Will these episodes?
It's just my life now.
Oh wait, Rhino asks, will these episodes be uploaded to YouTube? Yes. We are not gonna cut down anything. The chat will obviously be in the background here. I will take the full podcast that I streamed. I'm going to send it off to Eternity. It's going to be up on Eternity's YouTube channel, so be on the lookout for when that does post.
Yeah.
Probably like a day or so after we do a live airing.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, because it takes a while to download a 2-hour-ish podcast.
It does take a while. And since this is on Yuki's channel, I cannot download it right away.
Yeah.
I have to wait on Yukon's.
It's all part of the plan. I'm in control here. This is my studio. This is mine. Oh, mine. Ah.
Until I get to host.
Yeah. Let's see here. And
I can info dump like crazy.
And then, do you guys have any future topics in mind at the moment? Asked Stephanie.
Do you guys? Go
on.
I have a few in mind. I would like to talk about Bloodborne. I would like to talk about Transformers Animated. I'm actually going to see Transformers 1 tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about that. Save Transformers 1, guys. It's TF weekend. Hashtag TF weekend. Where's the TF hype guy? We need him. I want to talk about Elden Ring. I want to talk about Bloodborne. I want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. I have a lot of ideas. What about you?
I'll be yapping about animated movies that no one cares about, but I really like, and talking about obscure animated things. Hi, my name's Yuki. I might have studied animation briefly and was obsessive of it to the point where I know almost the entire history of Disney and its productions and how terrible everything was. I could go on an entire tangent rant about the quote-unquote dark ages of Disney. I could go on forever.
Oh my god!
I could talk
yes,
about the Renaissance. Ugh.
Black Cauldron.
We
could dedicate an entire episode to the absolute fumble that was the Black Cauldron. And I am speaking as a fan of the Black Cauldron. That is one of my favorite Disney movies. But they handled that horribly.
It was a production hell for 30 years or so. I could go on now, but right now we're not dumping about that.
We'll dump about that later.
Yeah. So if there are no more questions about the podcast or the PS2 that we were talking about, I will let it play out one more. If anyone has one more silly little question, one silly little thing.
Final calls.
One more final call. Ring, ring, ring. Ring, ring, ring.
Yuki Goomba, I have a question for you.
Me?
When do you want to do this again?
Good question, actually. Because I know...
No, Murdoch, you can't ask that question, and I'm not answering it.
I mean, we could.
Will we have a Halloween episode?
I want to. It's up in the air.
But
it's up in the air right now.
We've kind of talked about that. We like very briefly talked about it. Because I thought of like, what if we did like a Halloween episode dedicated to like talking about the history yeah, I don't know.
We don't know for sure, mainly because, fun fact, my street is one of the busiest streets. I had 100 kids come last year, and the year before that, they took all my Pokemon cards. I made Pokemon card packs and bought extra, and they took them all. Grubby little gremlins.
I mean, worst case scenario, we could do it like the day before or the day after. I know it wouldn't be on a Friday, but...
I mean, the day after would be actually the 1st, and it would be a Friday.
We could?
It would technically count as a Dia de los Muertos episode, because that whole event starts from like the 31st through like, what, the 3rd or 4th of November. It technically would still be spooky.
So, I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
No,
I mean, we could do a Halloween episode.
Yeah.
We could.
And before...
Keep that Friday open.
I'll keep Fridays open. For the most part, this will be streaming on Fridays at least once a month.
Yes.
Around the same time, 7:30-ish Eastern, 6:30-ish Central's time.
Central.
Yeah. Let me see here. So I want to do a final thing. Eternity, do you have anything planned for the rest of this month? Any fun things before we go that you want to tell the audience? Any like projects you're planning to shove in everyone's face and be like, ooh, look at this cool thing?
Eventually I would like to come back to streaming and content making. I've had to take a very extended break. I wasn't gonna do the whole like get on Twitter and be like, I need to take I'm graduating, or like I'm on an indefinite hiatus. Like I'm gonna come back at some point. I am just so crazy busy in real life. Eventually I will return to streaming. Obviously I will do the occasional hosting on my channel, on my Twitch channel. But I'm very sleepy. I need a nap.
They're very eepy. Look at this tired eternity.
I'm very burned out.
It's okay. Hold on. Let me get over to you. Hold on. Let me just I will give you a head pat.
If you guys are curious, I have been watching a lot of King of the Hill.
Now, are we watching the Japanese dub?
No, I'm watching the English dub on Hulu. I'm just really excited for the new show that's coming out next year. I'm very hyped for that.
Let's see here. I guess for me, because chat sees me stream a little more often, we have coming up, I think this week, we have most likely Monday, I will be going back to Medieval. Tuesday, I don't know if it's going to be, because I know we have our D&D game later that night. It might be earlier in the day if I could get Soko, or after the D&D game. We are going to be doing a content warning stream with our friend Michael Edwards and Soko and me and a few other people if we can grab them and rope them into our shenanigans.
Yeah.
And then the big thing that I have planned is on the 21st of October, so everyone mark your calendar. I am hosting a very special D&D Halloween-themed one-shot with a bunch of my friends. So if you see in chat, Stephanie Sparta will be there, Soko will be there, our good buddy Michael Edwards, the voice actor, and Chris is another friend of mine. The four of them will be playing an 80s/90s themed Halloween one-shot. I am going to be posting up art and promos within the next week or so for it, so be on the lookout for that. It's going to be
exciting.
it's going to be a fun thing I'm hosting. I've been excited for this for like a month now, because I guess if you want to talk about the next topics of things, if I get to pick, I'm going to be talking about vaporwave and malls and nostalgia of the 90s, because I'm really hyperfixated.
Mall culture.
I'm really hyperfixated on the 90s and like the aesthetic of it. Please send help.
Well, I mean, you were born in the 90s.
Yes,
so.
I was, and I had the fashion of the 90s through the 2000s. I found, oh my god, I found the really old quirky sweaters you would wear from the 90s, and I was wearing it.
Oh my god.
I'm like, why was I dressed like this in 2001? Why?
Early 2000s fashion was something else, let me tell you.
It's what we call the Disney Channel Nickelodeon fashion.
Yes.
And now let's see here. So if we got no more questions, we talked about the things we are eventually going to do and possibly do. I think we are done dumping upon you all. So
we have dumped all the info that we could upon you.
You now know how many PlayStation 2s it takes to cover the entire surface of Jupiter. I hope you're all satisfied.
I hate that. I hate that I know that.
11 trillion.
I really hate that.
11
I hate
trillion.
that I know that.
So let's see here. We are gonna go raid someone. Let me get over to the end screen. One moment. Let me just hold on. We dropped the mic. I gotta get rid of it. Hold on. Yoink. And now we disappear. Whee!
Whee!
Now we're gonna get over to the end screen. So let me see who is live for all of you to go have some fun with. Ooh. We're gonna go raid a little Orange is Borange, I think. Let me get a raid message up for y'all. Hold on. What should we should do, oh wait, I'm gonna do a special one because this was for the podcast. Hold on.
I swear, if you do something with like one of those weird calculations, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna lose my mind, Yuki.
What? I can't let our friend know that it takes 11 trillion PS2s to cover the surface.
You can't. No, you can't. No. This is cursed knowledge.
No, what we're going to do is you're just gonna say, you've been info dumped.
Let's go.
Yeah, so let me get the raid started for all of you. Thank you for joining for our first ever podcast of Info Dumpster.
Info Dumpster.
Yeah. Hopefully we can do another one either on or before Halloween, because we'll just talk about spooky stuff.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed.
Let me see if I can get the rate up. Did I spell that right? No, I didn't. I don't know how to spell.
It's okay. I don't know how to spell either.
Hold on. Hold on, everyone. Spelling is hard.
Spelling is hard.
Okay. All right, everyone, hop into the raid.
Yeah.
Can you roll your R's?
We're gonna have, you and I are gonna have a sit down. I'm gonna fight you on about that.
No, you won't. Anyways, you all take care. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, morning, night, whatever time of day it is, of all time zones.
Thank you for coming and listening to the first episode of Info Dumpster. We will see you for the next one when we see you.
But yeah, take care. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.